As Cheryl mentioned earlier, the remnants of Beryl bringing heavy rain and the possibility of flash floods to our area. Our Carson Gordy spoke to area officials on how they're preparing for the storms. Carson?
When I spoke to government officials, they say Tropical Storm Beryl is a topic that's been discussed. Springfield utility company CWOP says they are concerned about high winds potentially affecting power lines for customers and shutting off power. Public Information Officer Amber Sabin says people should charge their cell phone before the storm so they can stay updated just in case. She added people can report affected power lines to CWOP, but warns them to keep a good distance from them.
I mean, certainly, if we do have a lot of outages or damage, we want people to use our outage map and understand that we'll be working to restore power as quickly and safely as we can.
Decatur Public Works has discussed the possibility of street flooding. They're expecting to have multiple crews ready in the evening to keep the drains clear. They're warning residents to not drive through standing water as it can damage your car. And while multiple inches of rain is possible, when I spoke to the city of Decatur, their public works department, they're confident they have enough resources to get the job done. I'm Carson Gordy. Back to you.
All right. Thanks, Carson. As we mentioned, Illinois is expected to start feeling those effects from the tropical storm tomorrow.
Don't forget about the WICS weather app. It's the best way to get updates from Cheryl and all our Storm Team 20 meteorologists. You can find it for free in the Apple App Store and Google Play.
Well, with inches of rain in the forecast, city officials around central Illinois are preparing for the possibility of flash flooding.
News Channel 20's Carson Gordy is live in Springfield with the latest. Carson?
The cities of Decatur and Springfield are preparing for this tropical storm, but they do have tips about how you can stay safe during it. Springfield Public Works says people should clean out their gutters before the storm to avoid overflow. City officials added that people should stay off the roads during heavy rain. But if you do drive, do not go through standing water. Decatur says they're planning for street floods. They'll have multiple crews ready to go to make sure that drains are open.
Don't drive through a big pond of water and get yourself stuck. Watch the underpasses, they flood real easy. Even though the rain comes down, if it comes down real hard, the catch basins it takes longer for the catch basin to catch up, so you're going to have a lot of freestanding water for a few minutes.
Springfield utility company CWOP is warning that high winds could result in power outages for customers. The company says you should charge your phone before the storm so you can stay updated about what's going on. And if you do see a power line issue, report it to them as soon as possible. In Springfield, I'm Carson Gordy. Back to you.
Thanks, Carson. Coming up tonight at 10, we're going to take a closer look at how the storm could impact efforts to reopen parts of Adams Street after that devastating fire.
Well, a Springfield official says he's worried about what a tropical storm could do to further complicate efforts on Adams Street.
Yeah, the downtown block's been partially closed off since last month's fire. Multiple buildings suffered fire damage, with one of the buildings collapsing. Springfield Public Works Director Dave Hughes says there's a concern rain and strong winds from the tropical depression could degrade the structure even more. He says it's up to private companies and insurance to prepare for possible damage.
With inches of rain in the forecast, city officials in central Illinois all around are preparing for the possibility of flash flooding.
News Channel 20's Carson Gordy joins us with details. Carson?
Decatur and Springfield have already planned ahead for the tropical storm and have tips on how you can prepare as well.
I can handle it. We're going to get some flooding because if it's like that.
That was Robert Wagers of Decatur Public Works. The department says they could have multiple crews ready to go to make sure that water is being drained on the roads. They also warn drivers to be safe if they're on the road during the rain.
Don't drive through a big pond of water and get yourself stuck. Watch the underpasses, they flood real easy.
Springfield Public Works wants residents to clean out their own gutters and help water flow into the sewers better. Springfield utility company CWOP is keeping their eye on the storm as well.
But high winds, we're always going to be on alert. If they're calling for 30 to 60 mile per hour winds, that's something we're always going to pay attention to because trees and power lines are a big cause of power outages.
CWOP Public Information Officer Amber Sabin says even though Beryl is weakening, customers should still take some precautions.
Having charged cell phones, checking in with local media and weather radios to understand what's going on. to not be out on the roads. If you have flooded roads, you don't want to have cars.
Saban added that if you see an issue with a power line, it is important to call CWLP and let them know as soon as possible. I'm Carson Gordy. Back to you.
Thanks, Carson. Springfield Public Works will be out at 6:15 in the morning tomorrow to clear drains and prepare for the possible storm. And as Cheryl mentioned, southern and central Illinois will be hit by the aftermath of Beryl. The storm is expected to move to the northeast, and its remnants will be felt in parts of Missouri and Illinois. The National Weather Service in Lincoln is predicting inches of rain across the state with the threat for flooding.
We're looking more in the 2 to 3 inch rainfall range towards Mattoon, Shelbyville, east of Shelbyville, and down to Effingham, kind of that corridor there. But certainly Springfield, 1 to 2 inches of rain.
The National Weather Service says you should never try to cross flooded roads if you come across them. Given that the storms are expected to arrive by Tuesday, Beryl's track is higher in confidence.
Well, the heat will be the main issue for Texans without power in the wake of Beryl. The storm knocked out power to more than 2 million homes and businesses when it made landfall this morning as a Category 1 hurricane. The Harris County judge there says she's grateful residents have mostly heeded their warnings to shelter in place.
There will be boots on the ground. These 7,000 crews will be here in the region working on our lines, working on our poles, and working to do as much as possible to address the power issue.
Here in central Illinois, we could see a flux in weather as early as tomorrow with a combo of rainy and then hot days to follow. And you can get the very latest on this forecast on our WICS weather app. It can be found for free on Google Play and the App Store. Just search for WICS weather. Thanks for watching. Stick around by subscribing today and don't miss a single video.